What's up, metalheads and rockers? Underground Noise Webzine is blasting off in outer space with some more music to talk about today. In fact, today's Webisode number 137, and we have a returning guest, which was a surprise to me because I wasn't expecting it to happen. Today, we're talking with Dan Lorenzo, who's from the band Patriarchs in Black, and also Cassius King. What's up, Dan? Welcome back.
Man, thanks for having me again. And this time we have Rhino joining us. So thanks to both of you.
Hey,
I apologize in advance.
I say that all the time myself. So yeah, welcome back. Yeah, most definitely. What's been going on with you lately? I see you got Patriarchs in Black. You want to tell us a little bit more about that band?
Yeah, so when I was doing the Cassius King album, I just kept writing music. And my drummer, Ron Lipnicki, who was in Hades, he played on the last Hades album. And then I got him in Overkill for 10 years. He and I had been jamming before and after. And we finished the second Cassius King album. I just kept writing and writing. He's like, dude, he's like, I got it. I can't keep up. I can't keep up. So I'm like, maybe I should do a project with Johnny Kelly. Because I had thought about playing with Johnny for years, but I never flat out asked him, like, do you want to, would you want to jam together? So within the last year and a half, we released two albums. The first album came out in July. It was called Reach for the Scars. And the second Patriarchs in Black album came out October 6th. It's called My Veneration. So the project is all Johnny Kelly plays drums on every song, and I play the guitar and I write the music. And then we have all different singers and bass players from the metal community.
That's really cool, because I was just jamming on your lyric video for Dead or Dying, and to me it reminds me of Corrosion of Conformity.
And you know why, right?
That's Pepper on vocals, right?
Carl Legel, actually. Carl Legel sings that song.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, so Carl was the singer on COC Blind, and Carl actually sang a couple songs on our first album, and he sings the leadoff track on the new album. And then, like I said, we have a bunch of different singers like Mark Sunshine from Unita, and even DMC from Run DMC. There's a bunch, it's kind of really cool that like there's probably like 7 different singers on the two albums, maybe even 10 different singers, so it's keeps it fresh where like, it's always my music, but with a different singer,
Hey, you got to be unique somehow, man. And that's one way to do it. I like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Because Carl and Pepper, they kind of sound similar in a way.
They're kind of, oh yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I know. It sounds like COC when they sing, no matter which one of them it is,
Yeah, because at first when I heard that song, I'm like, wow, this is stoner metal.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Reminded me of that. Reminded me of Thinning the Herd a little bit, if you know who they are. That's Andrew Gamble's band.
Oh, okay. I don't know them. Sorry.
You ought to check them out. They're pretty damn good.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to throw it over to Rhino to ask you some stuff. And we'd like to introduce you to our mascot, Roger Wilco, who stands behind him at all times.
Oh, good. Going looks like a nice guy.
He's got my back. Yep. Anything you'd like to confess to Roger?
No, Rhino, I'm going to be honest with your answers. So with my answers. So what questions might you have, young man?
Well, let's start off with this one. What advice would you give to your 10-year-old self, musically and or non-musically?
Probably don't worry so much. I've always been a worrier, and everything's going to be okay. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs in life. And I guess that's what makes it life. It can't all be perfect. And that, believe it or not, somehow a dummy from New Jersey who barely graduated high school and had a dad who died real young, and I was devastated when he died. Everything's going to turn out, great, actually.
Too cool. Are you down Florida right now, Southern Florida?
No, I'm in northern New Jersey.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at the shirt because.
Oh yeah, I was there last week with my wife. We go to Key West often. Yeah, we go a couple.
Yeah, it's just weird how many bands are out of there. I never figured it out. Like, let's wear all black. Yeah.
And out of Florida, not so much in Key West.
Yeah.
It's more like kind of country down there.
Yeah, I never like, hey, let's wear leather and black and let's go to Southern Florida. Just doesn't seem like a. Nonetheless. All right. Can you tell us about the name for the band?
Well, picking a name, it's something that's weird. I mean, you got to think of something original, right? So it's amazing how quickly I came up with the name of the band. Once Johnny said, let's do it, I'm like, all right, now I got to come up with a name. So I think I saw the word patriarch somewhere. It might have even been in the Bible. But the same thing with the word veneration. I forget where not that I didn't know the word, but something jumped out at me. And then I just love adding in black, because we wear black most of the time. This is like unusual for me, actually. But, patriarchs, obviously, most of the musicians involved with this project have been kind of doing it for a really long time. And I thought the name fit. And then I Googled it and I went into Instagram, make sure no other band had it and nobody else did. So there you go, Patriarchs in Black.
Too cool. Too cool. What you got, Alvin?
Well, let's see. Yeah, I was about to say that name just stands out as one of a kind for sure. You don't hear the word patriarch too often these days.
No, not really. You hear matriarch, but not patriarch.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Cool.
What kind of gear do you like to use for your sound, like guitar wise?
It doesn't really matter to me. I play a Gibson Les Paul, and I stick with that. But when I write, I'll use a Epiphone to write. I'll use I do love Gibson. I've never even touched a Fender. And as far as amplifiers, I've been using PV, but I'll use a Mesa Boogie. I'll use whatever's there. I just plug in, and I don't have anything between my guitar and the amp. There's nothing. Like, I don't feel like I need a whole bunch of pedals or boxes like a lot of people,
Absolutely. If there's one band that you could share the stage with, and it's like, say, your dream band, who would it be?
Wow. Let's see. I mean, because everybody I respect the most has died. Like, I would say AC/DC with Bon Scott, or Alice in Chains with Lane Staley, which I actually got to do once. Black Sabbath 10 years ago, Led Zeppelin 20 years ago. Now, I guess it would probably make most sense for us to open up for a band like maybe Clutch or something.
Would you like to share a little bit more about that Alice in Chains show?
Yeah, I was just on Sirius XM talking about that, actually. I hosted Ultimate Sinner. It was when I was in the band Nonfiction. We didn't have our first album out yet, and Alice in Chains had just released their first album. And believe it or not, there was only 126 paid. So it was in Spring Valley, New York, and it sounds like, wow, you opened up for Alice in Chains, but it was 126 paid because neither band was super popular at that time.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
What you got, Rhino?
Well, I'm going to go with this one, kind of feeds off that one. All right, you get to bring one musician back from the dead, but in return, you have to sacrifice a modern musician. Who's coming up? Who's going down?
Oh, wow. Well, I really don't like the guys in Green Day, but they're not bad people, so I'm not going to send them away. I mean, I have no idea. I'll have to pick somebody who's a bad person. Let me bring back to life. Oh, that would be probably Bon Scott or Wendy O. Williams. I love the One Plasmatics album, Coup d'etat, but Bon Scott would definitely be my first choice. And Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, are they still alive?
Yes.
I'm joking. No, they just got so corny. I mean, I used to love Kiss Simmons growing up. Yeah, I don't want to put any band to death, but let's just say we could get the guys in Green Day to get some other kind of job so they can finally stop making that horrible music.
Yes.
Yeah, that Rhino?
Yeah, I'm good with that. Yeah, no punk band should be using an xylophone. I mean, come on.
I don't even know that, but yeah, I just
not even
music.
Though.
Every time I hear them play, it sounds like campfire music.
Yes.
They're like post-punk to me. They don't even sound like a punk rock band.
Yeah.
You want good punk rock, listen to Bad Religion.
Yeah, the drummer grew up right here. I worked with his dad.
You're in Georgia as well?
No, I'm in Maryland.
Oh, okay. What part? My company, I work for a company called Painful Pleasures in Hanover, Maryland.
Okay. I used to work over in Hanover for a while. I don't remember the company.
Yeah, it's a tattoo supply company, Painful Pleasures, It's where all the artists buy all their stuff, and the piercers and the permanent makeup artists.
Yeah, I had to check it out because, yeah, I like ink, and I have some buddies who tattoo.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to check it out. And I'll message Tony right after this.
Okay.
for sure. All right, with that, kind of a similar question, but you get to take two bands or musicians, past or present, dead or alive. You put them in the studio and they have to put out one album together. Who's going in that studio?
I would say definitely we'll have Jerry Cantrell. We'll have Lane Staley on vocals. And let's see. So now it could be any like this. It has to be I guess, a guitar player, right? If you want to have some music. Boy, I'm drawing a blank on that one. You guys got any suggestions for me? Jimi Hendrix. How about Jimi Hendrix?
That would be well, the way AI's going, maybe we can have it soon, right?
Yeah.
That ain't a bad idea. I like that. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, Al.
Well, let's see. This is actually a really funny question. What's the biggest mistake a beginning musician could encounter? Like,
biggest mistake. Oh, I know. So when I started playing guitar, my ear wasn't obviously developed like it is after you play for a while. And so this is back in 1978, and I'm trying to figure out Kiss songs. And I just know that you tune your guitar to E, and all the Kiss songs were in E flat. They tuned down one fret, and like nobody told you that. There was no videos or any message boards to figure stuff out. So it's like, I remember one of my buddy's guitar teachers tried to figure out a Kiss song for him, but he was playing it in standard E while Kiss was tuned to E flat, and his hand was going all over the neck. And I'm like, I can't believe it's this hard. So when you start playing guitar, I mean, I guess everything is hard when you first start playing, but after you've been playing for 6 months or a year, if something's really hard to play and it's catchy, you're probably playing it incorrectly, because catchy things are generally the easiest things to play.
that's an awesome answer.
Why, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. It's funny because I still have a hard time reading tablets for myself because I don't understand all the, little symbols that are next to certain things, like that up symbol like that. I don't know what it means, whether it's hammer on or hammer off or pitched harmonic or whatever. So I just make up my own, and go with it. Well, doing covers wouldn't be my thing unless I'm on vocals, so makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
You have any hobbies outside of writing music?
Just got off the basketball court, actually. So I postponed all my interviews today. I got to do another interview in 15 minutes, but I played basketball for about 90 minutes before this. And it's fucking cold up here today. It's like, 52 degrees, I think, 51 degrees. So, but it's sunny though, so it wasn't so bad. I prefer the warm weather, prefer playing, we play outside. So I'm actually icing my foot as we speak, but just basketball, and then traveling with my wife. We don't travel as much as we'd like to because we're both still working. But like you noticed the shirt, we were in Key West together last week, so we love traveling. We've been to a bunch of different countries in Europe, and lately we just keep going to Key West instead of once a year. We've been going twice a year, but I would say basketball and travel are two of my favorites besides music.
I'm the whitest basketball player ever.
Still fun,
Yeah, I never took to it. Yeah. Probably because I was short growing up, so it kind of defeated the purpose.
Well, some of the short players on my court are actually the best players on the court. I don't know why, but some of them are really good, actually.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't me.
Okay.
All right, what's your go-to beverage?
Go-to beverage. So every morning I'm either going to have a iced venti chai with an extra pump from Starbucks, or then I skip a day and I have a pure leaf iced tea, and then I drink water the rest of the day. I don't really have a taste for alcohol. I don't like coffee. So iced tea one day and Starbucks the next.
Yep. Yeah, I do too much water sometimes, I think.
You can never do too much, man. Very rare.
And I got that liquid IV lately. That stuff's killer.
Cool. I heard about that. Yeah.
Definitely expensive, but worth it.
Cool.
Who turned me on to that was Harley from Cro-Mags. We were backstage, and he makes the band drink it before before they go on.
Right. Cool.
So what bands did you grow up with in Jersey?
You mean as far as being influenced by, or like
And both, yeah, around, influenced by.
well, so I started playing guitar because of Kiss, and I worshipped, Aerosmith's first couple albums, first couple Cheap Trick albums, and then later on I got into Judas Priest and Slayer and Exodus. And then I got into hip hop. I I actually just wrote a song with DMC from Run DMC. DMC
That's
is
cool.
track number 4 on the Patriarchs in Black album. He's on the song Veneration. And then just on Monday night, he sent me a beat to write to, and I wrote a riff like in under a minute, and I sent it to him. He loved it, and he just recorded it today. So that's kind of exciting that he actually even gives me a shout out, and the song is going to be on his next solo album. This is DMC from Run DMC.
Yeah.
And then the other local bands around here was Trickster, who were not a heavy metal band. And
No, I just photographed them this year.
really, I'm sorry. No, they're nice guys.
Yeah.
It's not my kind of music.
It wasn't my choice.
Nice guys though.
Yeah.
And I managed the band called Mucky Pup for a little bit. I was their first quote unquote manager, who some of the guys left and started a band called Dog Eat Dog. And then I guess Overkill's sort of a Jersey band. Blitz and I did a record called The Cursed Room Full of Sinners together. That was in 2007. I'm trying to think, I'm probably forgetting about a band, but those are the bands that came up around, a little bit after I did.
Excellent. Yeah, I love the Jersey scene. Not so much. You can keep South Jersey, but
TT Quick. They were one of my favorites. They were great.
Cool. What you got, Al?
Well, speaking of Jersey bands, you're listening to a band called Vicious Circle.
Vicious Circle, not a perfect. No, I don't know them.
Yeah, they're from Jersey. It's Vinny DiBianca's band, and we're actual mutual friends. Rhino and I are.
All right.
I just figured I'd throw that out there.
That's cool.
My next question might sound a little bit different, but this is a question I like to ask every now and again. Is there anybody that you would like to give a shout out to?
Sure. All the guys who played on the Patriarchs in Black album: Johnny Kelly, Abe, DMC, Dave Niebuhr from Dog Eat Dog, Carla Gell, Bobby Jensen, who's the Paul Stanley Hairfire guy. You got to Google Bobby Jensen. Rob from Blackwater Rising, John Costco, my brother-in-law, Paul Walter. I mean, a lot of people played on this record. Eric J. Morgan, Johnny Araya. So many people. I know I left a couple of people out, but there's a lot of them. Oh, Sunshine, I already mentioned him. So yeah, of course, they all get a shout out for being involved with the record.
I'm guessing we're rolling out touring.
Yeah. It's I'm 61 years old in 2 months, and I have a job I love with Painful Pleasures, and there's 20 different people on this project, so it would be real difficult. Plus, Johnny Kelly's in Quiet Riot every weekend. He's still playing with Quiet Riots, and they play quite a lot,
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
It's just weird not having an original member. I don't know.
But the reason why I find it's okay is when the drummer passed, right before he passed, like his wife.
AJ.
Yeah. He was, he asked Johnny.
No, not AJ. Damn it. Who was the drummer?
It was a drummer from Quiet Riot. Frankie,
yeah.
Yeah, Frankie asked Johnny to keep it going, so when somebody's dying wishes for you to keep it going, it's fine with me if you want to keep it going in his memory.
Yeah.
It's interesting there. You brought up the name Blackwater Rising. I haven't listened to those guys in years. And one of the videos that I first saw by that band was for the song Brother Go On. And I actually saw them play live in Endicott, New York, actually.
Great band, and Rob is a great singer. They're like super nice guys. Drummer's great guy. Awesome band. Vessel of Light played a few shows with them right before COVID, and they have some new stuff coming out, so people should definitely check out Blackwater Rising. Yeah,
I checked them out when they were first coming out, basically, and caught them on a small little off day that they had, I guess you could call it. Yeah, they're definitely one of those stoner metal rock bands that you could just melt in the couch and smoke some indica to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's for. In the couch. You get it, Ryan? I mean, Rhino? I called you Ryan.
Yeah, Al's a pothead, by the way.
Oh, really?
Former pothead, actually.
Okay.
Former.
Yeah, I don't do weed no more, dude. I smoke hemp.
Hemp turns your eyes red.
You'd be surprised. It will.
All right. Can you tell us about your first ever tour?
First ever tour was a disaster. It was my band Hades that I founded even before I started playing guitar in 1978. I called myself Dan from Hades 2 months before I started playing guitar. And eventually we had some lineup changes. You know, we played New York and New Jersey, but no real touring. We played a lot of shows too with the original singer. I just, people ask me touring, it's usually when you're sleeping in hotels. So we toured Europe in 1989. And as soon as we got on the plane, the singer started being a dick to me and kind of like stop talking to me. I was like, what the fuck is going on, man? So we go tour Europe and we are not getting along. And we decided, I mean, in my heart, I decided this is it. Fuck them, the way they're treating me, I mean, I stayed tight with the one guy in the band. It was kind of like the guitar player, Ed Furman, and I against the other three guys who, at the time, it was Jimmy Schulman, who's one of my very best friends in the world now. But so we tour Europe and we do 20 shows in 21 days, but we are decided we're breaking up after like 5 or 6 shows. But even if we're going to break up, we're not going to go home because we didn't have any money. It was like no option but to finish the tour. So we were in a 9-passenger cargo van with 11 people and equipment.
Oh.
And it was tough. And the tour promoter, who I appreciate for bringing us there, but he had, there was no navigation back then. And I'd be like, how long is today's drive? He's like, oh, it's only 4 hours. And then after 8 hours, we're still looking for the venue every day. It was really bad. We played these bizarre clubs. And I'll never forget when we got home, some German people wrote me like, yo, when are you guys coming on tour? I'm like, we were just there. They're like, what? There was like no promotion. It was just so bad. It was so low budget. It was kind of sad, but the good thing about it was back then, Hades was a thrash band. I don't know if you guys knew the early Hades albums, but so we were a thrash band, and like I wanted to tune down. The other guys in the band, I could not convince them to tune down because they literally thought their guitar necks would bend and warp. And so then I started Nonfiction, which was exactly what I wanted to do, like a minimal amount of guitar solos and just slower, heavier riffs with more focus on the riffs. And pretty much that's still what I'm doing all these years later with whether it's Vessel of Light or Cassius King or now Patriarchs in Black.
Excellent. Senor Al?
What's the craziest thing you've ever seen while performing?
I remember that Hades tour. I remember like this, what was old to me back then, this like late 60s, early 70s heavy set woman dancing to our music somewhere in Belgium. I remember that. I'm sure I've probably seen crazier things, but that comes to the top of my mind just because I was talking about our Hades disastrous European tour in 1989.
I gotta ask, was she naked?
No, she was not, thankfully.
In your dreams, Al.
That's an image that Rhino loves looking at. Fat women. Naked.
No. Al's motto is they can't all be tens.
I guess so. Thanks for putting words in my mouth, Rhino. Fucker. That is kind of funny though.
Keep it going, Fred Durst.
Yeah. Fuck Fred Durst. Well, anyway, Dan, my next question for you is what's the best way to stay young when you're a musician? I know you said you're gonna be 61. How do you stay looking so young?
Just for Men. And I never did drugs really. I never smoked cigarettes. I don't drink alcohol. I've never been hungover. I'll have my wife and I will go to the Hog's Breath Saloon in Key West and have like a Hog's Punch or whatever. But I exercise. I don't eat meat. I get no sleep at all or difficulty sleeping. But other than that, I'm pretty straight. So
always move forward, never go straight, right, Rhino?
So no meat, huh? Are you vegetarian or?
No, I still eat fish and cheese and eggs.
Okay.
I'd like to be vegetarian someday, but I just got back from Key West, like we said, with all the great fish. It's be tough.
Yeah, I need fish.
Yeah, I need fish too. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And the eggs. I need that protein.
Yeah. I mean, there's protein and other stuff, but yeah, I can't
Yeah,
stop eating. I still love
right.
pizza, of course, you know.
If vegan's so good, why do they make it try and make it taste like meat?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, fish is good. You know, when I was a kid, I mispronounced that word. I would always say, I want more Sith. I would say it backwards, and I don't know why. I was like maybe 5 years old when I said it wrong. And that's funny going way back then. Remember being 5 years old then? What was
Uh,
like,
yeah, sure. I remember kindergarten, sure.
you remember the first instrument you played? Because with me, it was recorder.
Oh, well, I was going to say guitar, but yeah, you're right. Back then, you probably played the flute or whatever. But I have a distinct memory of kindergarten of there'd be like 5 rows of kids, and the music teacher, it was actually the kindergarten teacher, but during the music part of the day, uh, she put me in each row to help keep tempo because the other kids couldn't keep tempo. And I did remember that. It's funny because I never had any thoughts like, even when I started playing guitar at age 15, I thought I was like kind of too old to start playing. You know, I didn't think I was like embarrassed to take lessons, you know, and I kind of wish I started younger, but I guess everything happens for a reason. I was a baseball player before I started playing guitar, you know, so that was my passion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the baseball.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because the one time I got in a fight with, I would coach my son's team, and I got in a fight with the music teacher because he decides he'll fail these kids if they miss this after school concert thing.
Right.
Like, I have 13 boys, 8 of them are in your grade, in your school, in your class. You
Yeah.
can deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I can't show up with, I can't show up with 4 or 5 boys.
Right.
But yeah, what position did you play?
I was a shortstop and pitcher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son was a catcher, just had an arm. Uh, it was fun, all that travel nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I don't
Anything
miss
else,
it.
Des? Because I got a
Oh,
phone at 3:30.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess we'll ask you our final question.
Okay.
You have any last words for Underground Noise Webzine?
Thanks for the support, guys. It was nice meeting you, Rhino, and
you too, man.
Hopefully everybody will check out Patriarchs in Black, My Veneration, our new album out now.
Yes.
Dan, it was good to see you again, man.
Yeah, man. Have a great day, brother. Both of you.
You too, man. Thank you.
Bye.
And see ya.
See you.
Well, before I forget, I was gonna say thanks to Devade from the Medalist PR for setting up this interview. And it looks like everybody left the meeting but me. So here we go. Webisode number 137, Underground Noise Webzine. Support your local music scene, people. Support Cassius King. Support Patriarchs in Black. Support Underground Noise Webzine. Support musicians in general. They need all the support they can get, including myself. My band Nightmare Crypt has a lot going on, and there's going to be a lot more to discuss in the future.